My apologies, ladies. A most unpleasant scene. But I thought you should know the truth about that man.
Mr. Coppperfield, I believe you did it for her. To save her.
I hope she is saved, Ma'am. But the truth is, I did it for myself. To save myself. Now, if you'll excuse me. Miss Horton, Ma'am.
Such a very distinguished man.
Personal history and experiences of Ɗaviɗ Coppperfielɗ the Younger. Whether I shall turn out to be the hero of my own life, or whether that station will be held by anybody else, these pages must show. To begin my life with the beginning of my life, I here record that I was born at Blunderston in Suffolk. I was a posthumous child. My father's eyes had closed upon the light of this world 6 months when mine opened on it. An aunt of my father's, and consequently a great aunt of mine, Miss Betsy Trotwood, was the principal magnate of our family. My father had once been a favorite of hers, I believe, but she was mortally affronted when he married my mother without first presenting her for inspection and approval. Miss Betsy and my father never met again, and she'd never seen my mother.
The rookery. Indeed. Where are the rooks? I see no such bird. Ah!
This, then, was the state of matters on what I may be excused for calling that important day.
Open the front door! Mrs. Ɗaviɗ Coppperfielɗ, I think.
Yes?
Miss Betsy Trotwood. You have heard of her, I dare say.
I have had that pleasure.
And now you see her. Don't do that. Stop it. Stop it. There. Yes, now. Let me look at you. Come. Come.
Oh, bless my heart. You're a very baby.
I'm a childish widow. And I will be a childish mother if I live.
Nonsense. Sit you down, child. Sit you down. Here in the chair by the fire. The rookery, indeed. Where are the rooks?
The what, Mom?
Rooks, large black birds of the crow family.
There are none here now.
In the name of heaven, why the rookery?
You mean the house?
Well, of course I mean the house. What do you mean?
The name was Mr. Coppperfield's choice on account of the old nests in the garden.
David Coppperfield all over. Calls our house a rookery and there's not a rook near it. Takes the birds on trust because he sees the nest.
Mr. Coppperfield is dead! How dare you speak unkindly of him?
Goodness!
I'm all in a tremble. I'm sure I shall die.
Nonsense! What you need is tea. What's your servant's name?
Peggotty.
Peggotty? Do you mean to tell me that any human being has gone into a Christian church and got themselves named Peggotty?
It's my surname, Mum. Mr. Coppperfield called me by it because my Christian name's Clara, same as my mistress.
Yes, well, Peggotty, fetch your mistress a strong cup of tea. Don't dawdle. I have no doubt the child shall be a girl.
Perhaps a boy.
Don't contradict. I have a strong presentiment the child must be a girl. And I shall be her godmother. You will call her Betsy Trotwood Coppperfield. Now, on to money matters. Has David left you properly provided for?
I have this house and its contents, and a sufficient income. I think 100 a year.
That seems satisfactory. Now to my goddaughter's education.
Mom. Mom.
Doctor.
Yes.
Well?
I'm happy to congratulate
What?
you, Mom. A fine boy.
Speak up, can't you?
A boy.
What is the matter with the man? Why does he whisper?
Oh.
A boy.
What?
A boy!
Impossible!
I do assure you, Mom.
I won't hear you. boy! Ha!
Here we are. Oh, it's beautiful.
He shall be called David, after his dear father, David Coppperfield.
Even now, when I look back on those first 9 years of my childhood, I see nothing but sunlight. Sunlight winking in the window of the parlor where my mother gives me my first lessons, or flooding the garden, glinting on her curls as she gathers fruit, riper and richer than fruit has ever been since, in any other garden. Even the old churchyard where my father lay, and where each Sunday we brought flowers in his memory, even that sad place seemed, in my childish vision, to be perpetually suffused in sunlight. Until the shadow fell.
Good day, Mrs. Coppperfield.
Mr. Murdstone?
Good day, David. I trust I find you well, my boy.
He's shy.
She sang like an angel, Mum.
Really?
Yes.
So this is it.
So, goodbye, Mrs. Coppperfield.
Mr. Murdstone?
Goodbye, Davy. Come, my boy. Let's be friends, hmm?
Davy?
Well, that's the wrong hand, Davy. There's a brave little fellow, hmm? Mount.
Davy?
Master Davy,
Yes, Peggotty?
how should you like to go along with me and spend a fortnight at my brother's at Yarmouth? Wouldn't that be a treat?
Peggotty, is your brother an agreeable man?
That he is. And then there's the sea, and the boats, and the fishermen, and the beach.
It would be a treat, but what will Mamma say?
Not as good as Better Guinea, she'll let us go.
So what's she to do with herself while we're away? She can't live on her own.
Bless you. Don't you know? She's going to stay for a fortnight with Mrs. Graper.
Mrs. Graper?
Mrs. Graper's going to have a lot of company.
Then we can go.
Yes. Oh.
Poor David. How innocent you were. How eager to leave your happy home. And poor Peggotty. I see the whole plot now. Peggotty was to be ambassadress for my mother and break the news to me during our stay in Yarmouth.
Walk on.
Davy! Davy, goodbye! Goodbye, Davy! Take care.
Master Davy,
Isn't it a wonderful place, Peggotty?
'tis the finest along this coast, that's well known. Master Davy,
Yes, Peggotty.
look, there's Ham! Stop, Mr. Barkis! There's my nephew, Ham! Ham! Yoo-hoo!
Hey! There's my Aunt Clara!
Oh! lovely big boy. I got my Master Davy.
Hello, sir.
Oh.
Come and be
No sweethearts, I believe.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Barkis.
Oh.
No person walked with her.
With Peggotty.
Ah, her.
Oh, no. She never had a sweetheart.
Oh. Never had a sweetheart. Well, well.
Yarn's our house, Master Davy.
That's a boat, ain't it?
You run on and look closer.
If it had been Aladdin's palace, I could not have been more charmed with the romantic idea of living in it. The true wonder of it was that it was a real boat that must have been upon the oceans hundreds, thousands of times.
Mr. Coppperfield, I'm Donald Peggotty. Glad to see you, sir. You'll find us rough, sir, but you'll find us ready. This is little Emily, sir. Emily, say how to do to Mr. Coppperfield. Well, sister. How are you, lass?
All right, my love. Oh. Come on, Davy.
Mr. Peggotty,
Sir.
did you give your son the name of Ham because you live in the Noah's Ark?
No, sir. His father gave him that name.
But I thought you were his father.
My brother Joe was his father.
Dead, Mr. Peggotty.
Drowned it.
But little Emily, she's your daughter, isn't she?
No, sir. My brother-in-law Tom was her father.
Not dead, Mr. Peggotty.
Drowned it.
Haven't you any children then?
No, sir. I'm a bachelor.
A bachelor? Then who's this?
And you was in bed, Master Davy.
There, old girl.
Her name's Mrs. Gummidge. Her man and Daniel was partners in a boat. But old Gummidge died and left her very poor. So Daniel took her in, like Ham and little Emily when they was orphaned.
He must be a very good man, I should think.
The best of men. To bed with you now. Good night.
Night.
Davy?
Yes, Peggotty?
My brother Daniel, he don't like have that goodness and generosity of his spoken of. Not by anybody, not in his hearing.
I won't mention it.
Don't. It makes him swear something terrible to do.
Sometimes, at night, when there's a storm blowing, I wake and I think I hear Uncle Daniel and Ham crying out for help. Does it make you remember your father? I never knowed him. That's like me. But you'd a mother, hadn't you? I lost my mother too. Besides, your father was a gentleman and mine a fisherman, like Uncle Daniel. Peggotty said I should never mention what a good man he is. Good! If I was ever to be a lady, I'd give him a sky blue coat with diamond buttons, a red velvet waistcoat, a cocked hat, a gold watch and a box of money. Would you like to be a lady, Emily? Yes, very much. Emily, wait!
I'm sure I loved her with a greater tenderness and purity than can enter into even the noblest love of a later time of life. The days sported by us as if time himself had not grown up yet, but was a child too, and always at play. Dear Peggotty, I suppose it was because she saw us so happy and would not spoil it, that she never did carry out the commission my mother had entrusted to her. It was only when we were approaching the very gate of the house that at last she told me.
Mr. Barkis, sound your horn. Please, sound your horn and you'll come to the gate. Where is she? Where is she? Why hasn't she come out? Peggotty, where is she? Peggotty, why hasn't she come out? Peggotty, why hasn't she come out?
Wait, Master Davy, and I'll tell you something.
What? Where is she? She's not dead.
Dead? Of course she's not. Oh, bless the boy. Now, Davy, I should have told you something before, but I couldn't bring my mind to it. What do you think? You've got a pa. A new one.
Mama! Davy!
Clara? My dear? Control yourself. Well, you may kiss your mother, David. Always control yourself. Well now, Davy. How do you do?
Murdstone's sister is to live with us, Davy. She's to have this room, while you're to have a new room.
But why?
Come with me. Davy.
Clara? What is this? Clara, my love, have you forgotten? Firmness, my dear.
I'm sorry, Edward. I meant to be very good. I'm so uncomfortable.
Go you below, my dear. David and I will be down in a moment. David. If I have an obstinate horse or dog, what do you think I'd do?
I don't know.
I beat him. I make him wince. And smart. And I say to myself, I'll conquer that fellow if it cost him all the blood he has. I'll do it.
A few days later, she came. Miss Jane Murdstone.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Steady. Easy.
I remember when she paid the coachman, she took her money out of a hard steel purse. She kept the purse in a very jail of a bag, which hung upon her arm by heavy chains and shut up like a bite. I'd never seen before, nor have I ever seen since, such a metallic lady as Jane Murdstone.
Dear Jane, welcome.
Is this your boy, sister-in-law?
This is Davy.
Generally speaking, I don't like boys. How'd you do, boy?
Fine, thank you, Mom. And I hope you are the same.
Lax manner. Brother.
Sister?
Now, Clara, my dear, I'm come here to relieve you of all the trouble I can. You're much too pretty and thoughtless to have any duties imposed upon you that can be undertaken by me. Give me your keys, my dear.
Clara?
It's very hard that in my own house...
In my own house? Clara!
Our own house, I mean. It's very hard that I may not have a word to say about domestic matters. I'm sure I managed very well before we were married.
Edward, let there be an end of this. I go tomorrow.
Jane Murdstone, sit down and be silent.
I'm sure I don't want anybody to go. I don't ask much, only to be consulted sometimes.
Edward,
Jane Murdstone, will you be silent? Clara, you astound me. When Jane Murdstone is kind enough to assume, for my sake, something like the condition of a housekeeper's. And when she meets with a base return.
No, don't say that, my love.
This is not a fit scene for the boy. David, go to bed.
But, sir...
To bed, I say!
Davy. Davy?
Be firm with the boy, Clara. He knows his lesson, or he does not know it.
He does not know it.
Jane Murdstone is right. He does not know it. More firmness is required here, I think.
Much more.
Edward, please, no!
Clara, I have often been flogged myself.
Edward, please!
Clara!
My dear Jane, Clara is greatly strengthened and improved, but we can hardly expect her to bear with perfect firmness the worry and torment that David has brought upon her with his idleness and inattention. David, you and I shall go upstairs, boy.
Sir, please!
No! Edward, no!
Clara, are you a perfect fool?
Mr. Murdstone, please, leave me alone! Please, sir! Sir! No, sir! Please! No, sir! Please, please don't beat me! Sir! Please! I have tried to learn, but I can't. Not when you and Miss Murdstone are around.
Can't you, indeed?
No! Please! Don't!
Try that.
No, please!
He beat me then, as if he'd have beaten me to death. How well I recollect, when I became quiet, what an unnatural stillness seemed to reign through the whole house. It grew dark, the night wore on, and nobody came near me. Fearful questions tortured me. Was it a criminal act that I'd committed? Would I be sent to prison? Would I be hanged?
Is that you, Peggotty?
Soft as a mouse, or the cat'll hear us.
Is Mamma very angry with me?
No, not very.
But what's to be done with me?
School, near London.
Oh, Davy. Mamma, please forgive me. Please.
Clara!
I do forgive you.
Clara!
But try to be better. Pray to be better. I do forgive you. Goodbye, my child.
David!
Davy.
That's enough.
Oh.
Now that's enough. It's enough, I say.
No.
Well, go on, up you go. I hope you'll repent, or you'll come to a bad end. Drive on.
forget me, Davy, for I'll never forget you. And I'll take as much care of your ma as I ever took of you, and I will never leave her.
Is she a good cook?
Peggotty, do you mean?
Aye, her.
Would you like a pie, Mr. Barkis?
Oh, maybe I will. Perhaps you might be writing to her.
I'll certainly be writing to her.
Ah, well. You was writing to her. Perhaps you'll recollect to say that Barkis is willing.
Barkis is willing? Is that all the message?
Yeah. Barkis is willing.
Right, out! Come on, hurry up! Move it! Come on, move!
Is this the new boy, Mr. Tongue-Eye?
It is, Mr. Creakle, sir!
Fetch him up.
Hey there!
You? Tommy Traddles. Good luck.
Come on! In you go.
So, this is the young gentleman whose teeth are to be filed. Come here.
Lively now!
I have the happiness of knowing your stepfather, Mr. Murdstone, and a worthy man he is. A man of strong character. He knows me, and I know him.
Ah!
Do you know me, boy?
Not yet, sir!
Not yet, eh? But you will soon, eh?
You will soon, eh?
I'll tell you what I am. I'm a Tartar.
Ah!
A Tartar!
I'm a determined character, that's what I am. When I say I do a thing, I do it!
Do it!
Will I not do it, Mrs. Creakle?
You will, Mr. Creakle.
Beware of him. He bites. Mr. Tongue-Eye, please oblige. It seems you're famous for biting, boy. Well, I'm famous for biting. Ah! Kill! What about this for a tooth? Is it not sharp? Will it bite, eh?
Leave it be, swines!
Shut up, Traddles, you girl!
Steerforth was the name of my saviour, James Steerforth. He was the oldest boy in the school. The son of a rich widow, Steerforth was afraid of nobody.
Well, stand up, Traddles, for God's sake. You. Up you get, young'un. What's this? What is this? I call it a rotten shame, don't you, boys? Yes! Good day, Mr. Creakle. Tuck yourself in. Don't you worry. I'll look after you.
From that moment, I was bound to him by an unbreakable bond of loyalty and gratitude. He did make life in that brutal place at least tolerable. He loved a story, but was far too idle, he said, to read himself, so I read to him. Then came a morning when I was summoned to Mr. Creakle in the parlour.
Master Coppperfield?
Yes, sir?
You wanted in Mr. Creakle's parlour. Come on, hurry up.
Come here and sit down, David. I have something to tell you, my child. You're too young to know how the world changes every day, and the people in it pass away. But it's something we've all got to learn, David. Some of us when we're very young. I grieve to have to tell you that I hear this morning that your mamma is gravely ill. She is very dangerously ill. She is dead.
Man that is born of a woman hath but a short time to live, and is full of misery. He cometh up and is cut down like a flower. He fleeth as it were a shadow, and never continueth in one day. In the midst of life we are in death.
After you went, she got more timid and frightened like. A hard word was like a blow to her. But still she would love them two downstairs, because she couldn't bear not to love anyone who was about her. At last, she says to me, "Peggotty, my dear, lay your good arm underneath my neck and turn me to you, for your face is going far off." And she called on God to bless and protect her fatherless boy. And then she died. Like a child that had gone to sleep. Oh. Oh. Oh.
I hope that you and Mr. Barkis will be very happy together, Peggotty.
Bless the boy. They do say he's a bit tight with money. So, take this now, Davy, before I'm Mrs. Barkis.
A whole sovereign?
Shh.
I can't.
You take it and guard it well till the day you need it.
Hi, Master Davy.
No, don't agree, don't agree. It's a waste of time. And what's more, it's a waste of money. Put it all to auction, house and contents. Lock, stock and barrel. It's quick, and you'll get your price.
Come. Ah. David. Come here, boy. You have a disposition which requires a great deal of correcting.
What he wants is to be crushed. And crushed it must be, and crushed it will be.
Jane, leave this to me, if you please. I am not a rich man, David. And education is costly. In any case, I can see no advantage to leaving you at school. So, I have a business in London, Murdstone and Grimby. Mr. Quinion, my friend, manages it for me. Mr. Quinion has suggested that since it gives employment to other boys, it can also give employment to you.
Seeing that he has no other prospects.
Your wages will be 6 shillings per week. Your lodgings, which I have arranged, will be paid for by me.
In short, you're provided for and will do your duty.
Here we are, Murdstone and Grimby. We have arrived. Here lies your future, Murdstone and Grimby.
Our chief business is the supply of wines and spirits to merchant ships. Come here, Mick. Here's Mick Walker. This is David Coppperfield. He's to work below. Take him down and instruct him in his duties.
Confidentiously, not to be repeated to Mr. Q. I'm off, I am. Soon as I'm made, I'm gonna be a bargeman, like me old pa, and walk in the Lord Mayor's show in black velvet headdress, like he done. Here, Mealy! What? This here's Mealy Potatoes. He do have a name, but we all calls him Mealy Potatoes, 'cause he looks like an half-boiled spud.
Do he have a name then?
Copper something.
Field. Coppperfield. David Coppperfield.
Show him what he has to do. Whoa! Good luck, cocky.
David Coppperfield, Esquire, at your service, me lords, ladies, and gentlemen. Show us your hands. Show us your hands. Now, my lady, observe if you please. Now, you try, my lady.
No words can express the secret agony of my soul, the sense I had of being utterly without hope, the misery it was to my young heart to know that day by day all I had learnt and thought and delighted in would pass away from me little by little, never to be brought back any more. But then, in that utter darkness, came a gleam of light. It came in the form of a stoutish, middle-aged person with no more hair upon his head than there is upon an egg.
This is Mr. Micawber.
Mr. Micawber is known to Mr. Murdstone. He takes orders from us on commission when he can get any. You will be lodging in his house.
Mr. Micawber, this is David Coppperfield.
Honoured, Master Coppperfield. Under the impression that your peregrinations in this metropolis have not as yet been extensive, and that you might have some difficulty in penetrating the arcana of the modern Babylon, in short, that you might lose yourself, I am here to accompany you to my humble abode.
Thank you, sir.
Mile!
Coming, sir.
Take Copperfield's box for him.
Yes, sir.
Stop! Micawber! Stop!
This way,
Stop!
Master Coppperfield!
Stop!
Pay no attention!
Pay me! I'll have the law on you! Stop!
Master Coppperfield, if there is one great universal truth to be discovered as we journey through this vale of tears, it is this. Annual income £20, annual expenditure £19, 19 and 6. Result, happiness. Annual income £20, annual expenditure £20 and 6 pence. Result, misery.
Open this door and pay your debt, sir! We have no intention of leaving, Micawber!
Circumstances have rendered it imperative to enter the humble abode. We will not say surreptitiously, but discreetly and circuitously. In short, by the back door. Go!
Mr. Micawber, hurry!
I have a bill to pay!
Come on, sir!
Go down there, Copperfield! Here, will you do the honors, Master Copperfield? Go, go!
Mr. Micawber?
Yes, I. My dear, permit me to present to you Master David Coppperfield.
Master Coppperfield.
Master Coppperfield, may I make known to you the partner of my life, my strong right hand, my helpmeet, in short, Mrs. Micawber.
How do you do, ma'am?
Micawber!
Upstairs, upstairs.
Leaving, Micawber, until you settle your debts, sir! We'll have it!
Mr. Micawber's difficulties are almost overwhelming at present. Whether it is possible to bring him through them, I cannot say. If Mr. Micawber's creditors will not give him time, then they must take the consequences. And the sooner they bring it to an issue, the better.
Is Mr. Micawber great friends with Mr. Murdstone, ma'am?
Friends? I would hardly say friends, a mere commercial acquaintance. Blood cannot be obtained from a stone, and neither can anything on account be obtained at present from Mr. Micawber. Oh. My family are of the opinion that Mr. Micawber should quit London and exercise his talents in the country. Mr. Micawber is a man of great talent, Master Coppperfield.
I'm sure he is, ma'am.
My family are of the opinion that, with a little interest, something might be done for a man of his ability in Custom House.
Yes. In the meantime, I remain confident that something will turn up. My dear, I give you Master Coppperfield. You're welcome under our roof, sir.
Forgive me, Mum. If I can assist you in your troubles,
Master Coppperfield, bless you for that. I cannot treat you as a stranger, and therefore do not hesitate to say that Mr. Micawber's difficulties are coming to a crisis.
I'm very sorry to hear that, Mum.
With the exception of the heel of a Dutch cheese, which is not adapted to the wants of the young family, there is nothing to eat in the house. Mr. Micawber has taken the children to the pie shop in the hope of obtaining a little more credit.
Take this, Mum. Please.
Oh.
Please. As a loan, Mum.
No, I couldn't think of it. But you could render me another kind of service.
Anything, Mum.
They were my dear papa's. Mr. Micawber's delicate feelings would never allow him to...
Pawn them, Mum.
Well, let us say, rather, dispose of them. And such transactions are too painful for me. But if I might ask you, Master Coppperfield...
Anything, Mum. It's my house. I live there. What happened?
Get us prison. All of them.
At last, my dear sir, you're from the Chancery Court.
Out of my way.
You had the paper, I
Don't you pay no heed to him, young sir.
I said it would be settled in the end. Wait, there is the papers. You must have the papers.
In there.
Coppperfield. Oh, Coppperfield. The blossom is blighted, the leaf is withered. God of day goes down upon the dreary scene, and, in short, I am forever flawed.
I never will desert you, Mr. Micawber.
Emma, my angel.
He is the father of my children. He is the husband of my affections. And I never will desert Mr. Micawber.
Don't cry, Mum. I went to the pawn shop as you asked.
What? Coppperfield, you are a Trojan.
The rent is paid on Windsor Terrace until the end of the month. You have a legal right to occupy your room, Master Coppperfield. Let no man prevent it.
You'll send out to the pie shop for some dinner. A few cutlets, I think, and a mutton pudding for the children, and a pint of brandy punch, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
To add to the daily miseries of my own existence, I was now haunted by the awful fate that had befallen Mr. Micawber and his family. I imagined them shut away forever in that dismal prison, the children growing up pale and thin like the roots that sprout from a potato in a dark cupboard. Picture then my astonishment and joy when, upon leaving the warehouse one night, I beheld Mr. Micawber himself.
Mr. Micawber!
was a relation of Mrs. Micawber's, an aunt who, upon hearing of our plight, advanced a sum sufficient to obtain our release from that place of desolation. She stipulated only that we should at once quit the modern Babylon and go down into the country.
Hold aboard!
Thanks to my aunt, we are safe for the moment. But we could not quit the metropolis without taking our leave of you, Master Coppperfield. Your conduct has always been most delicate and obliging. You have never been a lodger. You've been a friend.
All aboard!
My dear Coppperfield, farewell. Every happiness and prosperity. If in the progress of revolving years I could persuade myself that my blighted destiny has been a warning to you, I should feel that our friendship, though brief, had not been in vain.
All aboard!
Yeah!
Please, sir, Mr. Micawber, sir. I really think you should go now.
In case of anything turning up, of which I am rather confident, I shall be extremely happy if it should lie in my power to improve your prospects.
All aboard!
Yeah! Farewell!
Goodbye.
Goodbye! Farewell now!
An aunt. It was Mr. Micawber's mention of an aunt that recalled to my mind that legendary figure of my own family, Miss Betsy Trotwood.
An aunt. An aunt.
This aunt of yours, you say she lives down the coast?
Near Dover.
Dover, eh? That's far away.
I've got money enough for the journey.
Walker, what is that in your hand?
Nothing.
Nothing indeed.
How many days I was upon the road from London to the Kent coast, I could not now say with any degree of accuracy. I had no coat to my back, my shoes were soon kicked into holes, and my entire worldly capital consisted of 3 halfpennies which were stolen from me by a tinker's boy. I remember a general sensation of my belly hollow and groaning from hunger, and of the way ahead appearing to stretch into infinity. When at last I reached my aunt's cottage, my state was pitiful indeed. To this hour, I don't know whether my aunt had any lawful rights over the patch of green in front of her cottage, but the one great outrage of her life, demanding to be constantly avenged, was the passage of a donkey over that immaculate spot.
Donkeys! 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 Oh, stop with you!
My pa loved the law on you. You see if he won't.
Fiddlesticks! Go on! Off! Go on! Off! Go away! Off! Go on!
Mom! Mom!
Go away!
If you please, Mom.
Be off! Be off with your no boys here!
If you please, Aunt.
What?
I'm David Coppperfield from Blunderston in Suffolk, and my mother's told me how you came to see her on the night I was born. It was midnight and there was a storm, and you wanted me to be a girl.
Janet, the water? Janet, the tonic. Mr. Dick, here you see young David Coppperfield. And the question I put to you is, what should I do with him?
What shall you do with him? Oh, do with him?
Yes, come. I want some very sound advice.
Why, if I were you, I should wash him.
Mr. Dick sets us all right.
There we are, Master David.
Janet! Donkeys! Oh, donkeys! 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 Donkeys!
Go on, go!
Go! Go!
All right, we're going! Come on, donkey!
Come on, go! All right,
Good night, Aunt.
Yes, yes, yes. Good night, good night. We're off to Canterbury to consult with Mr. Wickfield.
How's this for a kite, Davy? There's plenty of string, you see, and when it flies high, it carries my words far, far away. That's my manner of diffusing them.
We'll be home well before dark. Here we are. We won't be long. Mr. Wickfield is my lawyer. Here you are. There's nothing to be said and nothing to be done about anything until I first put the case to Mr. Wickfield.
Good day, Miss Trotwood.
Is Mr. Wickfield at home, Uriah Heep?
He is, Mum.
Go on, go on. This is my nephew. I should say my great-nephew, David Coppperfield.
Honoured, I'm sure, Master Coppperfield. Mr. Wickfield is in his room.
Yes. He's going to stay here.
Master Coppperfield is welcome to wait in my room, if he should care to.
Yes. Well, all right.
This way, Master Coppperfield. That is Mr. Wickfield's daughter, Agnes. Your aunt has a great admiration for Miss Agnes. As do we all. Even so humble a person as myself.
I suppose you're quite a great lawyer then, Mr. Heep.
Me, Master Coppperfield? Oh dear, no. I'm the very humblest person going, Master Coppperfield. My mother likewise was a very humble person. My father's former calling was humble. He was a sexton.
What is he now?
He is a partaker of glory at present, Master Coppperfield.
Dead, Mr. Heep.
Alas, Master Coppperfield.
How long have you been with Mr. Wickfield?
Going on 4 years, Master Coppperfield. I thank you for the inquiry.
I expect you'll be a partner in the business one day, Wickfield and Heep.
Oh no, Master Coppperfield. I'm far too humble for that.
decided yet, Aunt?
No, nothing yet. But, generally speaking, persons who run away from things are not popular with me. You must grasp the nettle of life, and it won't sting you.
Miss Trotwood, this unhappy boy has a sullen and rebellious spirit, a violent temper, and an untoward and intractable disposition.
Of all the boys in the world, I believe this is the worst boy.
Strong?
But not at all strong for the facts, ma'am.
I am come to take him back, ma'am. To take him back unconditionally. To dispose of him as I think proper, and to deal with him as I think right.
Really?
I must caution you, Miss Trotwood. If you step in between him and me now, you step in forever.
What?
I will not trifle. Is he ready to go? For if he is not, my door will be closed against him forever. And I take it for granted that yours is open on the same basis.
Good Lord. David? Are you ready to go?
Please, Aunt. I beg of you with all my heart, please don't make me go with him.
Oh. Mr. Dick, what shall I do with this boy?
Have him measured for a suit of clothes directly.
Mr. Dick, give me your hand. Your common sense is invaluable. Yes, it is. Don't think I don't know what kind of life you must have led that poor, unhappy misdirected baby, his mother. Smirking and lurking, making eyes at her, I'll be bound, as if you couldn't say boo to a goose.
I never heard anything so elegant in my life.
Miss Trotwood, if you were a gentleman...
Oh, stuff and nonsense. Don't talk to me.
What a choice of words.
And as for you, madam, let me see you ride a donkey across my green again, and as sure as you have a head on your shoulders, I'll knock your bonnet off and tread on it.
I never heard anything like this person in my life.
Mr. Dick, the gate? No. Mr. Dick, consider yourself guardian to this child, jointly with myself.
Guardian? Jointly? Delighted.
Yes, very well. I've been thinking I might call you Trotwood. Trotwood Coppperfield. How would that suit you?
Thus, I began my new life, in a new name, and with everything new about me. I drew a curtain down upon my life at Murdstone and Grinby. Even in this narrative, I have lifted it with a reluctant hand. My aunt sent me to Dr. Strong's school in Canterbury, and during term time, I lodged with Mr. Wickfield and his daughter Agnes. Agnes. Her mother had died in giving her birth, and like me, she was an only child. she quickly became my greatest friend, my wisest counselor, my dearest sister. So the years passed. When I was grown to something like man's estate, my aunt decided I should be a lawyer, sent me to London, and purchased articles for me in the firm of Spenlow and Jorkins of Doctors' Commons.
Ah, Coppperfield. Excellent. Come in. Come in. On the desk, if you please, Coppperfield. To the Lord Chancellor's office, if you please. Quick as you like.
I'm terribly sorry.
My dear sir, I do apologise.
No, it was my fault, absolutely. I'm terribly sorry.
Traddles!
Coppperfield? David Coppperfield!
How are you? It's wonderful to see you.
And you too.
Oh, I'm still,
Oh, you're still pretty much the same as you
yeah,
were before.
I know
It was Tommy Traddles indeed, my old school friend.
Incredible surprise.
My aunt had found lodgings for me in Buckingham Street and made me a modest but sufficient allowance. And as I was about to take a short holiday, my employer, Mr. Spenlow, had invited me to pass a night at his country house.
Handsome, eh? Fletcher versus Fletcher. A dispute between two cousins over a boundary. Fletcher versus Fletcher. Highly lucrative. But then, of course, the very best sort of professional business is a disputed will. Very pretty pickings indeed to be had there in the way of argument and counter-argument and the evidence of interrogatory and counter-interrogatory and so on. And since the costs invariably come out of the estate itself, both sides can go at it in a lively and spirited manner with expense. No consideration at all.
Absolutely remarkable house, Countess. Of course, a privilege.
Coppperfield. My daughter, Dora.
I was swallowed up in an abyss. There was no pausing on the brink, no looking down or back. I was gone headlong. I loved Dora Spenlow to distraction. And then...
And this is her confidential friend and companion, Miss Murdstone.
Alas, Dora has no mother living.
I'm already acquainted with Mr. Coppperfield. It was in his childish years. Circumstances have separated us since. I should never have known him.
How she enchanted me. I was lost in blissful delirium, but not quite lost. There was still that spectre hovering.
What's his name? Excuse me, my dear, but I must take you away to introduce somebody trying to meet you.
David Coppperfield, a word. I won't attempt to disguise the fact that I formed an unfavorable opinion of you in your childhood. It may have been a mistaken one, or you may have ceased to justify it. That is not the question between us now. I may have my opinion of you. You may have your opinion of me. But it is not necessary that those opinions should come into conflict. It would be better if they did not. Let us therefore meet here as mere distant acquaintances. Do you agree?
I said I would return, Mr. Coppperfield. Are you and Miss Murdstone talking over old times?
Old times? Oh, hardly that, Dora, my dear. Our acquaintance was very slight. Was it not, Mr. Coppperfield?
That was the moment to speak out, to say the truth. No, shout it. Very slight. There was triumph in her eyes, and contempt. I can see it now. I can acknowledge the justice of it. I'd taken the easy path, the coward's path. Dear God, what evil was to flow from that fatal weakness?